In the dark geography of the dog's brain, a single molecule begins to move: oxytocin. It pours from the hypothalamus like water from a hidden spring. Within half a second, it will bind to receptors in the amygdala, the caudate nucleus, the brainstem. And in that binding, something ancient and wordless will occur. The trigger was your voice. 3 words: I love you. But the dog does not hear language. It hears a chemical promise. Most of us believe our dogs love us because we are family, because we share loyalty, because we have built a friendship across thousands of years. That is a beautiful story. It is also neurologically naive. The reality is far more unsettling. Your dog does not love you the way you love your dog. Not because it is incapable of love, but because its brain was never built for stories. And the sooner you understand that gap, the closer you will actually get to the truth.
30,000 years ago, a wolf made a decision. Not a conscious one, not a moral one, a neurological one. It smelled human campfires. It smelled discarded bone marrow. And its amygdala, the ancient threat detector, did not scream run. That wolf stayed, then ate, then bred. The wolves that did not flee became the wolves that fed. The wolves that did not bite became the wolves that multiplied. Across millennia, a silent contract was written in the synapses of both species. You give us safety, we give you our attention. In 2014, neuroscientists at Emory University proved this contract was not just behavioral, it was biological. Dogs entered an MRI scanner awake and calm. They were shown hand signals: treat, no treat. Then came the third variable, the scent of their owner, who was not in the room. The result was a revolution. The caudate nucleus, the same region that lights up in humans when we see a lover's face, activated more strongly to the owner's scent than to the promise of food. The brain said, I choose you, even when there is no meal. That is the signature of a bond. But it is not yet the signature of love, not as we know it.
Let us now walk through the first second after you speak. Your voice hits the dog's eardrum. The auditory cortex decodes not words, but a familiar harmonic pattern. The amygdala, the brain's smoke detector, reduces its activity by nearly 40%. Threat levels drop. The brainstem releases serotonin. Vigilance fades. The dog's muscles, which were holding a microtension, soften. The hypothalamus triggers oxytocin from the pituitary, the same molecule that floods a human mother's brain when she nurses her infant. In both species, its message is identical. You are safe. Dopamine rises, not a spike of excitement, a sustained low-frequency hum. Scientists call it tonic dopamine, the neurological signature of okayness. The caudate nucleus, now saturated with oxytocin, predicts continued safety. The brain stops scanning for predators, for sudden movements, for hidden danger. And then, something remarkable. The dog's brain stops looking for threats entirely. For 3 seconds, 5 seconds, sometimes longer, the world becomes safe enough to be vulnerable, to close its eyes, to let its weight fall against your leg. That is what your words do. Not the English, but the constellation of sound, smell, context, and 30,000 years of shared survival. But here is where the story turns uncomfortable. When you feel love, you narrate it. I love this person.
I will remember them. I am afraid of losing them. Your prefrontal cortex, the great storyteller, weaves love into a timeline, into memory, into grief. The dog does not have that cortex, not like yours. When a dog feels what we call love, it experiences decreased vigilance, increased proximity seeking, lowered cortisol, pleasurable anticipation. But it does not think about the feeling. It inhabits the feeling. The dog does not believe, my human loves me. The dog is the state of being loved. That is more honest and more terrifying, because you will never know what that state actually feels like from the inside. Neuroscience can show you the caudate nucleus lighting up. Chemistry can show you the oxytocin spike. But consciousness, the raw, private, unshareable experience of being a dog, remains sealed. You say, I love you. The brain responds. But does the dog experience love as anything more than a wordless, embodied certainty? Most people cannot hold that question for long. It is too lonely. And yet, the science does not contradict love. It complicates it. When you say, I love you to a dog, something else happens. Your own brain releases oxytocin. Your own threat detection lowers. Your own caudate nucleus activates. You are not just speaking to the dog. You are speaking to yourself. The two of you enter a mutual neurological loop, a feedback circuit of safety and reward that neither species fully understands. Scientists call it attachment. Philosophers call it a shared delusion. Poets call it love. But the dog does not call it anything. The dog simply feels the absence of fear, the presence of warmth, the certainty of another creature choosing to stay. And in that feeling, which leaves no fossil, no record, no proof, something older than language continues to survive. You lean down. Your lips part. The dog already knew before you spoke. Not because it understands English, but because 30,000 years ago, a wolf decided not to run. And every I love you since has been the echo of that single world-changing choice.